Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to FishOfHex. My name is Travis. Today's video we're going to be topping off the Geos calcium reactor here in the fish room. Now, I wanted to make this video not only to show you guys that process, but to talk about the media in that chamber. Now, as you can see here, I have two different types. I have the Reborn, which I've been using since I started the system, and I have the new Carib Sea ARM course. Now, it's not new, it's just new to me because I've never used it before. And you might be wondering why that's happening. Well, you can't get Reborn anymore, and I just figured this shit out a few weeks ago, and I actually sold a few frags to get this bag right here, which is an 8-pound bag, or 8.8 pounds. And yeah, so I talked to all my wholesalers, talked to BRS, I looked on marinedepot.com, and it's not in stock. And from what I heard from people, that it's not going to be in stock anytime soon. The reason for that, from what I'm being told, is that there's a manufacturing process issue. That's it. That's just all the information that I can find. I tried Googling it. I couldn't find anything on the forums, nothing like that. Well, honestly, I didn't really look that hard. I probably spent like 10 or 15 minutes and then just kind of gave up. But yeah, so if you know the reasoning behind Reborn not being available, feel free to let me know. Now, that's kind of an issue for me just because this is the only calcium reactor I've ever, or media that I've ever used. And I don't like making changes to my reef tank like that. So because I have one bag left here, and I just got this new Carib Sea ARM course. Once I get over to this bag, or maybe a quarter of the way through it, I'm going to start mixing both of them together when I top off my reactor and slowly transition over to the Carib Sea. Now, what the impacts are going to be on the reef tank, I'm not sure. The reason why I went with the course is because it had really good reviews on BRS. From what I looked up on the forums, people really like this stuff, and I'm just trying to use what I can get the best results with. So that's why I went with that brand. No other reason other than the fact that it had good reviews, so that really speaks volumes to how well it is. So yeah, that's kind of shitty because I really like Reborn. I like that it's like little chunks of coral. Never had an issue with it. I know some of you guys are saying that some of you have gotten plastic in it. One kid said he had cigarette butts in it, which, I mean, I don't believe anything that people say on the internet, so he could have very well said it was a finger for all I care. But yeah, I don't really know what the issue is behind the manufacturing process or the issues that people have had. I've gone through the 40-pound box of this plus countless bags, 8.8 pound bags of this stuff, and never had a single issue. I usually don't even rinse it off. And again, no problems, and it's worked great. As you guys can see, we're running this reactor on a 500 gallons worth of water volume with pretty much 99.9% SPS and have zero problems with it. So I'm kind of bummed. I'm actually really bummed. I was considering buying some of it on eBay, but I just don't trust eBay, man. I just never have. So yep, that sucks. But I am going to transition over to this new stuff and see how it turns out. And yeah, so let's go to move over to topping off the... Alright, so topping it off is pretty easy. You just got to make sure that you turn off the feed pump, the CO2 regulator or the carbon doser, and the mixing pump. Obviously, you don't want that shit flying over the place. So it's pretty simple. Just come in here, pop off this second chamber hose, set it to the side. Now, I am going to just plop in this bag because it is relatively clean. I didn't really have any issues with it. But if we do have to end up using some of this one, I am going to rinse it in this bucket because it looks particularly old. I'm not really sure. I think the guy said he got it several years ago when it was like a blowout sale or whatever. So it's been sitting around for quite a while, so I probably will rinse that stuff out just for the sake of getting it a little bit cleaner. These are on there pretty good. One thing I really like about these Geo reactors is this, even though it is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but man, does it really make a good seal. Let's just go around here, get them loose. That's what she said. I don't know if we're going to add a meme to that. Maybe. You guys appreciate that. At least some of you do. Alright, so get the top off here. It's a little snug because I got the pipe here, which when I originally designed this, this wasn't part of the design. I didn't think I was going to add other tanks. I should have known better because it's just my personality. I've set this to the side, and now it's a little bit in the way. It's not too bad, just got to move this a little bit. Now the next thing I'm going to do is grab a cup and pull some of that water out, which I did not have ready for the video. And I'm just going to pull out some water so we don't have it overflowing. Some of you guys were asking me, do I ever completely clean the main chamber, as in take it all out, because you guys noticed in the video that there was some crumbs and it just looks pretty dirty inside the chamber. Well, I never have. And I mean, if the system was up for an extended period of time, since we do plan on keeping this up for about 4 years and it's been, what, 2 so far, I might consider cleaning it just for the sake of it. but we'll see. It's definitely not a hard process. I think the hardest part would be is getting it out of here, getting the cables that run all the way over here to the apex out, and then you know, making sure that it's back in place. But that's about it. So let me go ahead and get this cover off here. So this is the rest of this bag of this reborn. Just top it off. This might be enough. Not really know yet. Nope, not even close. Man, I burned through a lot this year, or this month. As I mentioned, I tend to do like 4 to 6 inches roughly, depending on kind of what's going on. But since I added those other tanks, I've actually been adding a little bit more than usual, which is normal because of all the growth. But so I'm going to go ahead and dump a little bit of this in here. Actually, a little bit. I dumped in half the damn bag. Oops, there goes the apex. It's the CO2. Oh, I gotta go turn off that alarm. That's just the alarm saying that the pH is too high. 1 second. Shut the up. Thank you. Gracias. Alright, so also make sure you turn off your pH alarm or you're gonna have problems. So this stuff is just rinsed. Yeah, it has a little bit in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm trying to angle it. It's got some chunkies in there. It's got some leaves. Some sticks. Last time I checked, leaves and sticks don't cause an issue. And whatever the hell this is. What is this? I say that I never had an issue, and then I start finding shit. I don't know. It looks like plastic. It's definitely not going to kill my tank. Now, I try to get it up, probably. That's what she said. I gotta stop those memes, man. I've been watching The Office way too much. But I love that show. I really do. So I try to get it up just right before it gets to the base of this. This part sits down. I don't know if you guys can see it. Probably not. There's a little inlet here for the pump, which sucks the air, the water in, that then circulates it through. And I try to get it just right there. Of course, leave room for the pH probe on the side, because you don't want to be smashing your pH probe into anything. It's got shells in it too. So that's what, I always got to make sure that you leave a little bit of room for the pH probe. I ran into that issue early on. It's like, why did the damn lid close? And then I didn't break my pH probe, thankfully. Could have if I slammed it any harder. Alright, so minus the mess, that's pretty good. It's got coralline on it. It's like I've been to the beach once, but I've never been in the ocean. And I looked at this stuff like, oh, it's foreign. I've never seen it before. Alright, so that's good. You guys can see it's topped off pretty well. As you can see, there is this crap all over the place. So I'll grab a paper towel, clean that off. Because the last thing you want to do is have any of this crap on your seal. And that's one of the issues that you guys have been saying is, hey, my seals are leaking on my reactors. Well, are you getting in here and cleaning it before you put it back together? That's a huge deal. It doesn't take very much to cause pressure. Even if it's just a few flakes, all that pressure will damage the seal, and then maybe that particular flake or piece of rock won't actually cause a leak at that time, but it could damage the seal itself, and then over time it will start to leak. You know, I don't know how often you do this, but for me, once per month. So that's pretty darn good. Try not to obsess over that too much. Alright, that's pretty good. And then you just go ahead and put the top back on. This is all basic shit. You guys are like, oh man, this is obvious. You gotta put the top back on. And for me, I gotta angle it a little bit, move it, and then put it back on there. It's good to go. Yeah, when I had this custom built, the sump, the calcium reactor, and the ATO, it was exactly 96 inches between them all. In hindsight, I would have made the tank a little bit wider or made something a little bit smaller, but it's not a big deal. As you can see, it took all of 2 seconds to move it. And then, of course, go around here and tighten all this up. So I'm going to fast forward through this nonsense, and then we'll be back. Alright, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the feed pump. I'm going to leave the mixing pump off. I'll leave the CO2 off, and we're just going to fill up the chamber until it starts coming out here. At that point, I just go ahead and put this in. Now, the reason why I do that is so I don't have to wait for all the air to go through both chambers, and it just takes forever to do that. Better just to flush it out real quick and then put the secondary chamber on there. Alright, so we're getting pretty close. We're just about at the top. Once it starts coming out, I'll plug this in, and then we can turn on the mixing pump and the CO2 regulator, and things will just go back to normal. Now the pH, of course, is not going to be where it should be because you open it up and all that good stuff. It's just going to take a few minutes for the pH to get back to normal in the reactor. Now, you can, if you want to fast forward that process, say the pH is too high, you can go ahead and just turn off the feed pump, leave the mixing pump on with the pH or the CO2 regulator, and that will get the pH down quickly in the reactor. For me, I just let it run. It doesn't take very long to get back to normal. So it's up to you, depending on your calcium reactor. So we should be coming out here in just a second. Catch it before it makes a huge mess. I did upgrade that feed pump, so it, here we go. It comes out at 6 gallons per hour now, which is about 3 times as fast as what I had before. And yeah, so that's good. Everything's running through. It's coming out the other end into the refugium. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to topping off the reactor. It takes about 5 minutes. I think the longest part of this was getting the camera and the light set up. That's about it. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed again that I am out of reborn. I still got some left in the bucket, not much. So on my next fill, which will be in about 30 days, I'm going to go ahead and start incorporating the new Carib Sea ARM course, and we're just going to kind of transition all the way over to that. And yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I'll give you guys an update probably in the next 3 or 4 months, letting you guys know how that reactor media turns out. All right, so that's about it for the video. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys later. All right, peace.